I was waiting for this to complete because it
Okay.
became very slow.
Okay.
So, however, we can continue. It's not affecting that much.
Okay.
Yesterday we have seen inventory controlling,
Mm-hmm.
inventory management, and we have kept data sources of inventory for installation in
Mm-hmm.
business content. So we are installing the inventory management cube 0ICC03. So by now I hope it would have been installed successfully. If not, we have to do it again.
Okay.
Should be in supply chain management info area. So I'm looking for that info area now. This is a cube that we want. So you can see this is a new data flow, 7.0 data flow. Let me see the data flow now. Stock initialization is also there.
Mm-hmm.
You see BX, BF, and UM. And this is something. In inventory management, we have three known data sources. Those are these three data sources will supply data to the cube, inventory management cube. So these are very famous in supply chain management. And 2LS O3BX is used for the stock initialization. So this is the purpose of three data sources. BX is a one-time loading. We don't load it again because from the so this is a one-time loading for the BX because from the previous season of from the previous stock, all the stock which is left from and will be the opening stock for next when you do the next season. So for that initialization, now we use this BX data source, and for BF we use for material movement. This is a BF and UM are delta ones, and this is the only one time loading, and then we can directly load it to the cube once, and then all the historical data will be loaded, and then we can keep these two cubes in the process chain. Process chains are used to automate the process. So we will use it for the delta purposes because we don't want to do the repetitive work again and again. So what we will do is to keep implement the data flow, and then once you successfully load the full load or init, after that the deltas will be the delta info packages, and DTPs will be kept in process chain, and then we will leave it like that. Then whenever we want to trigger process chains, we will start it, and then it will load all the processes automatically. So basically, the support guys will do this, and support guys will be there to do that. I mean, to initialize the process chains, to start the process chains, and to load the data successfully. In case they get any errors, then they have to act accordingly as per the tickets, and they have to resolve the tickets. So that is their work. So we are going to see process chains after completing the core, after completing all the processes we have pending, like generic extractors after this. So today we are seeing we are going to see the inventory management, and then we will see COPA as well. controlling and profitability. So that is the today's class that will be covered in today's class. So inventory management is a logistics. So logistics data sources is loading process is a bit different than that of normal business content data sources, because we normally fill the setup tables first, and then we will, delete the setup tables, and then we refill the setup tables in logistics. Why do we delete the setup tables? Means we will have the data from the previous init, from the previous full load. So that data should be in order to reduce the redundancy. That data should be deleted first and then reloaded again with the setup tables.
Okay.
The setup tables should be reloaded again, and then we do the initialization process. That all the setup tables, filling, etc., will be for only for the full load. We don't fill setup tables for the delta road.
Mm-hmm.
Once we do the initialization, we keep it in delta, and delta will be done in process chains with process chains. It means whatever the data is, added or created or posted will be in the delta queue, and all the delta queue will be posted to the, loaded to the um, cube by daily or weekly, like that, by scheduling the jobs. So in daily or weekly basis, we load the deltas. So this all the setup table filling process is a one-time loading. So there are steps to follow in inventory management, for not only for the inventory management for the but for all the data sources of logistics. So that is like, first of all, the steps are: after successfully installing business content, you have to activate the RSA5, and then you have to delete the historical data. So in LBWQ transaction code, there will be a MCEQ03. So you have to delete that queue, MCEX03. Let's see this. That process is an ECC process.
Okay.
First of all, you have to go to RSA5 and make sure the data sources are activated. then you will go to LBWQ.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no queue here. MCEX03 is what we are looking for. If you find MCEX03 here, you have to check this and delete it. That is called historical data deletion.
Okay.
And then you have to go to LBWG. You have to give the application number for inventory controlling to delete the setup tables, or else you can use this F4 and you can find your application number here. You can execute this to delete the setup tables. After successfully deleting them, you have to go to MCNB for initialization. This is for the stock initialization. It means transfer structure should be two alias and time of termination should be more than the system time. I mean, it should be in future time. Just 10-15 minutes is enough. Mm. Can we see the date of the
Um,
system, date and time of the system?
yeah, I'm also looking. Uh,
Sorry.
yeah, even I'm also thinking where to find.
Yeah. Well, that is the point here. You have to look at the system date and you have to give the future date here.
Okay.
I mean, future time, not the date.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep some 10 minutes. For example, it automatically has given 10:58. So
Mm-hmm.
you just give 11:10 or 11:05,
Mm-hmm.
and you can run this. So it will do the new run.
Okay.
So this is the real-time scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Real-time scenario is nothing different from this. In
Okay.
any system of SAP, the process is the same, but the data will be the different. There will be a lot of data in real time. So that is the process you have to. Second step was then the third step was
Mm-hmm.
it was to delete the setup table. by going to the LBWG transaction, you have to give the inventory application number 03. Then you have to delete the setup tables. Then you have to take the shutdown, system shutdown for some time. Downtime. So after some downtime, you have to initialize the setup tables, and you have to initialize the setup tables for initialization, stock initialization, BX, and then by going to MC NB, and then you have to initialize the BF and UM by going to the OLI1 BW, or you can navigate through SBIW as well. SBIW is the transaction code to see the stock initializations and all. So we will see SBIW. Okay.
Oh, come on, man.
Hello.
Yeah, Shahid.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it was like some internet problem
Yeah.
from my side, I guess. Okay.
There is another incoming call from you.
Yeah, I just called you. Maybe you can end that call.
I can see that call.
Okay.
So this much data is initialized.
Mhm.
for the BX. And then for the BF and UM, you have to do the OLI1 BW.
Mhm.
There is a transaction, I mean, that is the transaction code for BF and UM, and give the extractor name BF once and then initialize it, BUM once and then initialize. You can see this is the transaction code for IMG implementation. So you can see the most of the settings here. In this transaction code and SPRO transaction code. SPRO transaction code is used to for the final, settings like for fiscal year and time settings, calendar settings, etc. Business settings will be done in SPRO transaction code. So implementation guide is used for different things like transact, maintaining controls and authorizations, etc. Generally, you don't actually do straight away these things.
Mhm.
Senior guys will do this. You can see MCNB transaction. We can navigate through this one as well.
Okay.
We went to directly to the MCNB transaction. We can navigate from here as well. So that is the difference. Like if you have a transaction code, you can directly go, or if you know the navigation, you can go through navigation as well. So you can give the extract structure, and you can give here for BF and UM. You have OLI1 BW. You have material movements. Here you can give the run name of the run, and you have to give the future date and time, future time a bit 15-20 minutes later. And then if you want to do any selection, you can give the selections here. For example, if you don't want to extract all data available, you can give the selection and you can give the run. You can see that in the document. In the data sources document, we have inventory. You can follow the steps in the document. I guess I haven't given inventory steps. I guess I don't know.
No.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Mm, Class. See, logistics. I have given one example. I guess I didn't give the step-by-step process for the logistics.
Okay.
I have given the, I mean, concept. I may add this. I don't know later. For the COPA, I have given step-by-step process.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do this. I guess it is. It has to show something like.
Mhm.
It's not giving any number. Something. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
So, so generally there is the process.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give setup rerun for UVM as well by doing this. So you can navigate through SBIW.
Mm-hmm.
Filling up setup tables.
Okay.
So here you have to navigate through this. Like I mean in logistics, you have to find filling up of setup table for inventory management. There will be other modules as well, like production and purchasing, quality management. All the LO extractors will be here. So you have to perform this. You have to select the name of the run and the date. So company code. Companies generally are divided with the company codes, and that is like identity for in I mean to for the business processes. So you can see company code for AG, like that. Different company codes are divided. Company code is a yeah, four character alphanumeric field, which gives the information about the I mean different subunits, etc. So in finance, it is a very important element. Company code. According to company code, it will. So we are not doing any specific company code here. There is one thing. Let's keep it one. You can restrict it with the fiscal year,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do. Accounting document numbers. The document number is you can give some range, and then you can run the setup for that. So after running the setup tables, you have to load the data to the BW. And while loading the data for the 0SEC03, you have a process like for initial load. For historical data, you have to load the data to the info cube with the no marker update check mark, and after the full load, you have to uncheck the no marker update and give it load the deltas. So for to get the proper data like uh, for stocks at the given time, you have to calculate the stocks. So for that purpose, no marker update is used, and it has to be compressed. Data has to be compressed, and then you will get the proper value. So that is the way you load to the inventory, and it will be like time consuming. Let's see BF. I'll give 10,000. Oh, there is a lot of data. There's a lot of data, much more than this data is there. So we will load according to some filter for some fiscal year. Let's see what fiscal years are used, and then we will load according to that. Here, you can. This is controlling area. Controlling area is different, and company code is different. According to the company code, tax, etc., everything will be calculated. So all these settings will be dependent on the company code, controlling area, like that. So in a business, that is, functional aspects. this is company code. We have so we can load 1,000 company code. We don't have to load all the data. We can have a filter and we can load 1,000 company code for BF and UM. So here you have BX. You can see this is a good example of two transactions for one info source. Generally, this is recommended. You can use the info source in between, and you have to use two transactions for if you use info source. One transaction from data source to info source, and another transaction from info source to the info queue. So with that, you will get opportunity to write transform the data twice, and then with the help of one info package, one DTP, you can load the data to the queue. So let's see, there will be a lot of requests in the queue. Okay. So we will load the data for BX. There is a custom one. There are some many alterations. Let's create our own data information. So there are 10,000 records. Generally, a base underscore UM is a there is a data store object called base underscore UM that is automatically generated data store object from zero material characteristic. So in that data store object DSO, the UM values will be loaded. So that is the error here. It is giving error, that error, and it means that the value, one of the value that we have here in characteristic GL, this one doesn't have the SID tables. It means SIDs are generated for haven't generated for those values for the master data. So that error, it means we have to load master data first and generate the SIDs, and then we load this data again, etc. That is a very long process. Okay, there is data in minus and it is updated. You can see green. So I will load. I will delete this. You have to change the QM status to delete the request. Because if you don't change the QM status to red, it means the system will understand that everything is okay with that. You are deleting with your own, priority. So the deltas will not be there in to load. The data will be deleted from the ECC system, and then you won't get the data back again. So for that purpose, it is necessary to delete the data with the QM status red. Let me load it back again with new info pack, or we can use the existing info pack. Okay. It looks like everyone had his hand on this. There's no company. Generally, for 10 million records,
Mm-hmm.
it will take 1 hour time to load.
Wow.
I don't know how much data is there because we haven't kept any filter there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have to keep filters.
Mm-hmm.
There is an error. Let's check in. We got a lot of data. So there is a lot of data here.
Okay.
For us, for testing purpose, that is enough. So in that case, I will I'll change the QM status. So everything is okay here. There is some kind of, uh, I mean, there are two DTPs, etc. So let me, yeah, this is from BF to the cube. We can use it, and in the extraction we can have the filter. We have to change it first. And here for the filters, I have posting date, valuation class, etc. But I will look for something else, which is, you know, the I want company code for the filter. I don't want all this.
Okay.
So because we have done the initialization for UM with the filter company code, I want to keep company code and load only 1000. So by giving such filter, I will execute this. There must be, hopefully, if if there is some SID conflict, it will be failed as well.
Okay.
So it is not failed, it is okay from here. So you have to go to administrator, check the data. That is the icon to check the data in administrator. Here we have done some 257,000 records were transferred, and 180,000 records, 185,000 records were added to the queue. And this is the data will be aggregated. If there are some similar fields
Mm-hmm.
uh, in PSA, up to PSA, every field has a key. So every field is a key. So there it doesn't get aggregated. Here in InfoCube, key figures will get aggregated. Some of the key figures. So characteristic, if the characteristic is different, if the name is different, like if there is a name like Shahid, there is a name Ravi, and then there are some key figures, those two will be different records. And if the key figures are different, if I have four records with the name of Shahid, and the characteristic is Shahid, then the key figures will be 10, 20 like that. So
Mm-hmm.
all those will be added. The total will be Shahid, then 100, Ravi, and 200 like that.
Okay.
So SID generation, you have to load whatever SID is error it is giving. We have to load the master data and generate SIDs, and then it will be fine. Or we need to, change the value, which is, for example, there may be some error like space or something, hash or something.
Mm-hmm.
So those errors we have to rectify, and then we have to load it back. So that is what we do in real time. It will for this it will take some days of work.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to do it now.
Okay.
For each process we do, you will get 10-15 days time.
Mm-hmm.
So like the inventory management process, and for generic extraction, for each process you will get 1 month time like that. So in real time it is different. We will do like whatever we can here. Just a minute.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
So we have done BF, and now we will load the UM, which is the revaluations. So here it looks like okay.
Okay.
So here you can see initialized delta process. In initialize delta process, you will have either initialization with data transfer or initialization without data transfer. Once you do the initialization with or without data transfer, it will be delta. Delta will be available. Automatically, it will change it to the delta. And then in that case, you have to keep to the delta. For example, if there is a delta, I will show. Now we are doing initialization with data transfer. It means the full load, it will be same as the full update, but initialization will also happen. And the same info package we can use it for the delta purpose. I see there are only 2000 records here. So after initialization, you will see you will keep the delta process here. Here it is available, right? So it was not available before.
Okay.
Now after the initialization, it has come. So we will keep delta and we will leave it like this. And then we can just add these info packages to the process chains, and automatically the data transfer will be happening. So right now, we'll save this like this and go back. Now I will create a DTP for this between InfoCube and GUM. Okay, continue. It is activated.
Okay.
Generally, you have to keep this valid record updates, no reporting as default. And then first of all, you have to let's save this. We'll activate this. there is error in transformation
Okay.
and with the routine. That error we can try to rectify or we no. There is a fiscal year variant here. It is giving local. It is set to local currency here, and it is description is fiscal year variant. I don't know what it's doing here. Uh, Fiscal year variant is this one, zero fiscal variant, and here this one has to go to the fiscal variant. Mm, there is a start routine. Let's see what it is, what it has. Sorry. This is saying communication structure.
Mhm.
It has, I guess, it needs some in changes because of the migration. So it takes some time. Yeah, this routing needs some change because of the migration. So that is the process generally, and you will have a further uh, info cube material stocks and material movements info cube. You have to do the compression. Here you have compression with zero elimination and no marker update. And if, for example, if you have with a zero elimination, if you check this, it will compress the data. When you compress the data, all the I mean, we will have the discussion tomorrow for the performance tuning.
Okay.
When you compress the data, all zero values will be eliminated. All zero value key figures will be eliminated, and you will have the request ID will be collapsed. Request ID will be zero, and all the requests that present in the info queue will be rolled will be in effectable. They will change to effectable, and there is a zero marker, no marker update. You can check this or you can uncheck this, and when you have to load the full update, you have to check this no marker update, and after the full load, uncheck it and load the compressed other requests. So that will be marker updates. So in the inventory management, you have to do this for the successive delta loads. You have to keep the marker update. You can see there will be a lot of material on no marker updates, because this process is important in business. This process takes a lot of today we will see COPA,
Okay.
controlling and profitability analysis. And by weekend we'll start the BO.
Okay.
These are characteristics and those are key figures. So this is a controlling module, COPA. COPA means controlling and profitability analysis. This is used for the sales and contribution reports. So you will have two types of reports in COPA: costing based and account based reports. And these are customer generated reports. It means that we have to generate it ourselves. In ECC, you have to go to the transaction code KEB0 for the COPA to generate the COPA data source. Here, I will show you the data flow. For example, you have a cube. You have a data source. And then there will be a data store object and data source. Hmm. You will have a ECC system, and then you will have same data source here, and then you will have COPA transaction code. So basically, data flow will be like this. So this is the ECC side,
Mm.
and this is BI side. So what you will do is you have to give the create a data source yourself, a customer generated data source
Mm-hmm.
by using the transaction code KEB0. This is the transaction code we use for the customer generated data source creation. And in the data source, by giving the fields, you have to create data source. You replicate the data source in BI system, and then create a DSO. By giving the custom fields, by creating custom fields, you have to pull the data. So that is the task now, and we are going to do for half an hour as
Okay.
much as we can do. So the naming convention for COPA data source is zero uh, COPA underscore. Let me give costing based, or account based. So costing based. So I'll give CSBST costing based once, and I want to create it. So keep it create. We are into the KEB0 transaction code now, and you have to give the IDEA operating concern. There will be, as per the business, there will be operating different or operating concerns. So IDEA operating concern we will load. And there are two types of reports we can generate. One is costing based and one is account based reports. So we
Mm-hmm.
will keep it costing based and execute this transaction. So here you got to see the transaction, all the details here. You can select or deselect the fields you want, or unwanted fields you can deselect them. So in this transaction code you will have all the fields you want. For example, I want the field for operating profit because it is our operating profit. Costing, it is not costing based report field, so it is not automatically not selected for that. So we have costing based fields selected, and if we don't want some fields, we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we can uncheck few fields. And the field for partitioning, I will give it as Bookers. Bookers is a company code, and according to the company code, we will do the partitioning. This is a default field here, you can see.
Yeah.
So I will give the field here Bookers, and I will give some. Here you need to have a access key.
Okay.
So we will see it tomorrow
Okay.
because we need to give the access key. I mean, not everyone will have authorization to do the COPA, or I mean, generate the data sources or generate data sources or to create programs. Generally, in real time, you will be restricted to very few transactions in ECC because we are BI developers. We are not ECC developers.
Okay.
So in ECC, they will give access to the required transaction codes only, like RSA 5, RSA 6, etc. So in order to create data sources and all, we need to intimate them. I mean, if there is a requirement, they will give us that access key. By using that key, we will be allowed for, for creation of the data sources and generate data source and generic data sources, etc. So I will get that key today and I will show it tomorrow.
Okay.
And tomorrow we will hopefully finish this because for this one
Mm-hmm.
we have to uh, create data flow in BI ourselves because it is like generic itself. You won't have a data flow created by SAP in BI site. We have to create info objects and we have to give the data flow there. I mean, for that purpose, I will reduce the info object as well. For testing purpose only, we are doing this. So I will keep some selected 510 info objects, and then we can find out the fields. I will check only 510 fields here, and we will find out the info objects for the relevant fields in BI. And then by finding out the relevant fields, we can create the I mean. We will create DSOs and info queue. So we will
Okay.
see that process tomorrow. And if we have completed it quickly, then we might go for the generic data sources tomorrow itself.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay,
Have a
sir.
nice day.
Yeah. Shahid,
Yeah,
should I send you this video?
yeah, please. I'm not recording as now itself. It is not working system.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so that is why I'm not recording. If you send it, that would be better.
Yeah, I'll send, no problem. Okay.
Okay.